Yes, good morning, fellow Americans. Here once again. I'm going to start off with presenting here and requesting the freedom of Roger Stones, an innocent person who was kidnapped from his home and is being imprisoned, thanks to the determination of the communists, which still call themselves the Democrat Party. They want to destroy our freedom of expression, our freedom to denounce, our freedom of the press. They want to convert the United States into a communist dictatorial regime. And requesting also the freedom of this other person here who's from Cuba, Jose Daniel Ferrer Garcia. I had to post him here because this man is also innocent, was kidnapped from his home and is being tortured in the prisons of Cuba together with a couple of other political prisoners. Okay. Let me put it this way then. If it doesn't want to cooperate one way, I'll put it the other way. This is Jose Daniel Ferrer Garcia. He is the leader of UNPACO. This man was kidnapped from his home together with a whole bunch of other political prisoners also, whose name I can't remember of each one of them. And he's being tortured right now in the hellish prisons of Cuba. They've done the same thing. They formulated false charges against him, just like they've done to Roger Stones. So if you think the communists are not waiting for the opportunity to take over and enslave us, enslave our minds, and destroy our Constitution, our constitutional rights, together with the Islamic movement, you're wrong. They're neither peaceful nor do they want to respect the will of the people. Both of them are in it together. You can see it, even, believe it or not, even from the Jewish left. They want to destroy their own country. You know, it's terrible. The communists, the Jewish communists, are just as evil as Bernie Sanders and the whole CPUSA now, which used to be the Democrat Party and the Islamic movement. They're just as evil. They want to destroy the United States. They want to destroy our rights. They want to destroy the Constitution. Everything. Everybody that's on the left, even Pelosi, who said, "Oh, we want to protect our Constitution," she's a real hypocrite. And the rest of the DNC, they're all hypocrites. They're just using it to disguise themselves and make you believe, make you the naive, the extremely ignorant, believe what they're saying is true. They're liars. It was proven in court when they tried to impeach President Trump. They couldn't find one evidence, one iota of proof against Donald Trump. One, not even one. Even in the court, they were questioned and said, one of the senators or congressmen said, "Give us an evidence that he violated the law." Complete silence. Why? Because there wasn't any. They said, "Give us one proof." They couldn't show up proof. Why? Because they're evil. And they lie and keep on lying, inventing lies, and one lie after another lie on top of the other one. Okay, let's go to the news. I already did this part. Oh my God, from the religion of peace. Oh, let me go for this one here first. In Italy, Muslim migrant attacks 60-year-old man in supermarket when asked to keep distance. They jump at the old man. These people don't respect nobody, and nobody even in their own country, and we let them in. And Italy, what the hell's the matter with you, Italy? I thought you were tough. The birthplace of the mafia. With tough men. What happened? Turn into wimps? Yeah, let's go to the next one. There's more. But like I said, always go to my blog. I pledge allegiance to the flag. You have to write down my name first. Eduardo Rodriguez. I pledge allegiance to the flag. Because there's a whole bunch. I'm not going to show them all because then I'll be here all day. And I got to go on to another video, which I do in Spanish. From the Religion of Peace. Let me read this one before I go to the next one. India Muslim software engineer. Listen to this. Let's look what this India Muslim software engineer says. Let's join hands, go out and sneeze with open mouth. And people they are. There's no way dealing with these people. There's no way assimilating. These people are evil to the core, and they have to be deported. Who doesn't understand this? It's just a stupid, or what, getting money under the table. It's like Pelosi and Hillary and all the DNC. They get money under the, you pay me, and hey, I'll let you do whatever you want. Sneeze, fart, everything you want to do. Who cares? I don't care how many people you kill, as long as you pay the money. And they think the money's going to save them once they're in power. Once the Muslims are in power, they're the ones that are going to go. And that's the one going to be executed. Maybe the first ones. Pelosi accuses Trump of killing Americans in the coronavirus crisis. Can you believe this? It was the Chinese, one of the videos. The signal keeps going on and off. Remember, if it goes off permanently, go to my blog. That's all I can say. That's another, like I said, that's another medication, a new one that's proven, hopeful and saving lives. So it's not only chloroquine. I think there's another one. I can't remember the name, but I think I got a video here. Something here on Chuck and Todd. I just don't even want to hear this guy. This guy is I don't know how he became a reporter. Okay, let's go to the videos. The videos are more interesting because the videos, they'll explain right there on the spot. Okay, here's the medication that I was talking about, the new one. It's called Limab drug, Limab. They come up with some damn names. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. Somebody want to correct me, go ahead. Limab. Well, it says here, coronavirus patient taken off ventilator and out of ICU, which is intensive care unit, after receiving experimental drug, Limab. I don't know if it's pronounced that way or if there's any silent letters there, so I don't, forgive me about it. Maybe it's Leronmob. Maybe it's pronounced that way. I don't know. I'll have to hear somebody pronouncing the name of that medication. Okay. Venezuelan general is extradited to U.S. Second general surrenders after the U.S. puts bounty on leaders of criminal socialist Maduro regime. This is a narco regime dealing with trafficking in drugs, just like Noriega of Panama, if I'm not mistaken. The same thing, criminals. But the regime is falling pieces by pieces. We'll see what happens because I wouldn't be surprised, and I hope it's done, that the United States just go in and wipes that clean from communism. Because communism is a criminal precept. That's the same one that the DNC is supporting. The whole DNC now is supporting. Why? Because it permits them to commit crime. It permits it not only to commit crime, enslave the people, kill us, and enrich themselves. That's all it is. They're just thieves, natural thieves. While Trump is trying to save the economy, and the economy is booming, these people want to destroy it, and they lie through their teeth. Let's go to the next one. Okay, now I'm gonna go with these videos. There's a whole bunch of videos. I'm not gonna throw them all. I'm not gonna put them all. Okay, let's see. I don't look. I got one here on AOC, Alessandra Ocasio-Cortez. Who wants to hear this nutcase? I just hope she loses in the election and she's kicked out of the office. There's a whole bunch of videos here, just trying to get the most interesting. Okay, let's put this one, because no, I won't be able to put none of them, because there's a whole bunch of them. Like I say,
Kellyanne Conway makes it clear how New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio
go to my blog
coronavirus.
if the signal goes off on me.
Josh Bernstein filling in for Gary Franchi in the Next News Network. Now, before I get to that story, folks, remember Next News being heavily censored and taken out of suggested videos. So please do us a favor. Make sure you're still subscribed. You're getting your notifications. And of course, if you're new to the channel, please check out the newsletter in the description below. Now, let's get to your story here. According to Frank Kemp for the Daily Wire, on Wednesday, White House counselor Kellyanne Conway appeared on Fox News with host Martha McCallum to discuss the ongoing coronavirus crisis. During the segment, Conway brought up New York and the city's Democratic mayor, Bill de Blasio. Go and roll this clip.
Bill, the communist.
New York as being the epicenter. That's the New York metropolitan area at this point. There are many more cases and deaths in, say, the suburbs of New Jersey, Long Island, and the like. And you had Mayor de Blasio last night, and he said he lied to America. He said that he's been on top of this from the beginning. On March 2nd, he said, because I'm encouraging New Yorkers to go on with their lives and get out on the town despite coronavirus. And then he told everybody what show to go see. That was on March 2nd. On March 16th, he went to a gym. On March 5th, he's taken the subway, telling people it's totally irresponsible, and it is the epicenter now. And I think it shows you the contrast in leadership when you have feckless leaders or you have a president who's publicly facing every single day, giving people information engagement they need.
Kellyanne, I mean, I understand what you're saying, and I question
on the coronavirus.
Let me ask you something. Okay. I think that's absolutely true, and I think that last night he demonstrated that he's not giving people a very positive message in terms of, how he's going to guide the city through all of this. And I think that was, that stood out, I think, to a lot of people last night in our discussion. But in terms of the things that you're mentioning, you could probably match up some of those early March statements from him with also similarly optimistic statements from President Trump, although they've handled it very differently.
So there's no comparison between the two leaders. There's no comparison. This
in terms of get out and live your life and go ahead and do what you're doing. Back in the early March.
In this White House, my very chief of staff started doing meetings on this on January 12th. There have been groups meeting on this all along. And in fact, today is the 1 month anniversary of, I think, the task force being announced, or Dr. Birx as the coronavirus responder. She's a long-term expert, ran PEPFAR over at state, long-term infectious disease and AIDS expert, HIV expert. So we've been on top of this, and I will not compare Mayor de Blasio to President Trump, and neither do Americans, since President Trump has a 60% approval rating.
To be clear,
and I just want to make this point: he never had those high marks in handling the economy, even though he deserved it. He has high marks because he's handling a health crisis that came out of nowhere, and people appreciate the fact that every single day they're hearing from that task force.
As documented by Conway, Mayor de Blasio's actions and statements, including his March 2nd tweet about New Yorkers getting on with their lives, has been the subject of much scrutiny. President Trump has been under intense scrutiny by the press as well, with reporters and media outlets criticizing the president for his demeanor during the coronavirus task force briefings, as well as his tendency to compare the coronavirus with the seasonal flu. Well, sorry, folks, it is basically the same thing as the flu. It's more highly contagious, I will give you that, no question about it. It's certainly not nearly as deadly as the flu has been, according to the CDC, National Institute of Health numbers. But it is something we have to be cautious about. But here's something else I'll add to what Kellyanne Conway didn't add, and the rest of the media hasn't really talked about. If you're from New York, you may want to listen up real close, okay? First off, we have these Democrats now all around the country, not just Washington, the media everywhere, talking about how wonderful Governor Cuomo is. Oh my God, he's the second coming of Christ, for goodness sakes, right? He can do no wrong. They want him to come in at the end of the convention and get rid of, Dementia Joe and Breadline Bernie, and they want him to be the nominee. Well, before everybody starts, kissing his rear end and saying how great he is, let's think back and go back in time to 2015. In 2015, when he was the governor, and again, he still is, he was told by Howard Zucker, who was the New York City's health commissioner, and other city officials, to replenish the ventilators that they had on hand in their stockpile. At the time, they had about 4,200, okay? They were told to buy 16,000 ventilators in New York by city health officials, okay? Would have cost $36,000 a piece, which is $576 million. He thought that price was too high, and instead, what did he do? He called a task force. He created one. They came up with a color-coordinated system right now that they're still using right now today, by the way, and they ration the remaining supply. Now, it gets even worse. Not only did he not spend the money on ventilators, but then he turns around and he spent $750 million on the Buffalo Billion solar panel factory in Buffalo, New York. Okay? So there you have it, folks. The truth that the media is not talking about. You don't have ventilators in New York City because your governor thought it was better to spend $750 million on solar panel factories in Buffalo, New York, which, by the way, I think closed already and was wrought with corruption, than to restock the stockpile of ventilators. That is the 100% truth. So any Democrat out there that says that somehow Governor Cuomo is doing great and he's handling himself with this, yeah, just tell him my story, which, by the way, is 100% true. Those are my thoughts. What are yours? Put them down in the comments.
Okay, let's go to the next one.
Give us a share. Continue to watch the Next News Network. I'm Josh Bernstein, filling in for Gary Franchi. If you want to learn more about me, check out the Josh.
Okay, well, let's put a little bit of good news here. Let me see if it doesn't last too long. Let's go to this one. Okay, this one is short.
History has been made, folks. The U.S. Space Force just launched its first satellite. I'm Josh Bernstein, filling in for Gary Franchi in the Next News Network. Now, before I get to the story, folks, remember Next News being heavily censored and taken out of suggested videos. So please do us a favor. Make sure you're still subscribed to the channel. You're getting your notifications. And, of course, if you're new to the channel, please check out the newsletter in the description below. Now, let's get to the story here. According to Michael Chance for the Gateway Pundit, the crisis that we are facing has not slowed down the United States Space Force. In fact, the military's newest branch launched its first satellite this week, and this is the beginning of its first mission. A massive United Launch Alliance Atlas V rocket took the U.S. Space Force into space on Thursday. The rocket was decked out in the official Space Force logo as it escorted an advanced, extremely high-frequency satellite into orbit. Go ahead and roll this clip.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, we have ignition and liftoff of the United Launch Alliance Atlas V rocket with AEHF-6 on the first mission for the United States Space Force.
Pretty cool stuff, right? Well, there you have it. President Trump correcting yet another mistake by Barack Obama, the captain of the Kenyan debate club. who ended up killing the space program, not thinking it was important. Meanwhile, we've got EMT, possible attacks, we've got drones, we've got all these things flying around in the sky, we've got the ability to crash our grids and everything else. We need something like the Space Force. So thank goodness President Trump understood that, realized that, and acted upon it. Those are my thoughts. What are yours? Put them down in the comments below. Give us a like, give us a share. Continue to watch.
Yeah, that was short. That was more short than what I thought.
If you want to learn more about me, check out the Josh Bernstein Show on YouTube.
But she's going to be replaced by another Democrat. So, you know, the same crap. One worse to get into another one less worse. Maybe.
Toast in the next election. I'm Josh Bernstein filling in for Gary Franchi, the Next News Network. Now, before I get to that story, folks, remember Next News being heavily censored and taken out of suggested videos. So please do us a favor. City Council President Tlaib defeated by fewer than 1,000 votes in 2018 has declared her candidacy. The Detroit Metro Times has reported. As a more centrist and dare we say more sane Democrat, Jones would be a definite improvement from the far left to lead. And in a video announcing her candidacy, because let's face it, folks, that's how it's done today in the age of quarantine, she unveiled a three-pronged process to defeating Rashida Tlaib. Go ahead and roll this clip.
Hello, my name is Brittany, and I am running for re-election for United States Congress in the deadly disease, COVID-19. I've learned that you might be able to live, but you can't live without hope. That's why my candidacy is based on hope. Hope for a better tomorrow. Hope for our children. Hope for our family. And hope for the hopeless. When re-elected as your Congresswoman, my focus will be three-pronged. 1, bringing resources to the district. 2, uniting the district. 3, focusing on the issues that are important to the family and the people in the 13th Congressional District, the issues that impact us right here at home. As Detroit City Council President and Dean of the Council, I've served my constituency with integrity, humility, and everything that I have within me. Over the last 15 years serving as a Detroit City Council member, and 2 of those terms as Council President, I've restored stability on Detroit City Council as we move forward during these terms of uncertainty. You will be hearing more from me and why I am humbly asking for your support and vote.
A look at the 2018 Democratic primary shows that there were far more votes against Tlaib than there were for her. But with a field of 6 competitors, Tlaib won with 27,841 votes, while Jones came in second with 26,941 votes. The remaining votes were split, with Bill Wild getting 12,613, Coleman Young II grabbing 11,172, and 10,714 votes between Ian Conyers and Chanel Jackson. For the record, that is 27,841 votes for Tlaib and 61,440 against, which is strange because she often acts like she won overwhelmingly. Well, all I can say is, let's get rid of the MFer, okay? This woman is a disgrace. The Taliban, as I like to call it. She is just as disgusting as the rest. These people are far left American haters, anti-Semites, and evil, evil people. And there's no place for evil in our Congress. And we need to get rid of these folks quickly. Those are my thoughts. What are yours? Put them down in the comments below. Give us a like, give us a share. Continue to watch the Next News Network. I'm Josh Bernstein, filling in for Gary Franchi. If you want to learn more about
Replacing one Democrat for another is like replacing a venomous, deadly snake, which was for Rashida, for a can be tamed. Breaking, Jerry Nadler shook, sends desperate letter to AG Barr. I'm not going to go anymore with these people. Watch the video. I'm really not interested in hearing what Jerry Nadler. The only thing I can celebrate is when they put him in handcuffs for lying and conspiring against our president. Let's hear this one. Oh, okay, wait a minute. I don't know. All of them is too much. Let me see how long this one lasts. Okay.
Welcome to Breaking News. We've got another great bit of news coming up for you. But first, make sure you're subscribed to Breaking News and hit the bell icon so you'll know when we post a new video. Also, if you're watching, join the conversation below in the comment section. Now, here's your news. Trump overrules Chuck and Nancy, issues signing statement asserting power to ignore their oversight. President Trump issued a signing visions into the stimulus bill to any cable network who would have them. Turns out they spoke too soon. As in his signing statement, Trump flatly rejects their oversight authority. Signing statements are not law, but inform how the executive branch will interpret the law. And it looks like Trump will claim executive power and simply ignore Chuck and Nancy. The signing statement reads, "Today I have signed into law H.R. 748, the Coronavirus Aid, Relief, and Economic Security Act, or the CARES Act." The act makes emergency supplemental appropriations and other changes to law to help the nation respond to the coronavirus outbreak. I note, however, that the act includes several provisions that raise constitutional concerns. Section 15010 of Division B of the act purports to require the chairperson of the Council of the Inspectors General on Integrity and Efficiency to consult with members of the Congress regarding the selection of the executive director and deputy executive director for the newly formed Pandemic Response Accountability Committee. The committee is an executive branch entity charged with conducting and coordinating oversight of the federal government's response to the coronavirus outbreak. I anticipate that the chairperson will be able to consult with members of the Congress with respect to those hiring decisions and will welcome their input. But a requirement to consult with the Congress regarding executive decision-making, including with respect to the President's Article 2 authority to oversee the laws are faithfully executed. Accordingly, my administration will treat this provision as oratory but not mandatory. Section 4018
I want to stop.
authorizes the SIPGR to request information from other.
You can see the signal went off for a couple of seconds. Oh, wait a minute. Let me see if I can. Oh, that was it. But there's a whole bunch more. I just don't want to put them all. It's just going to be too much. Well, until next time, like I always say, God bless you, Donald Trump. I always pray for you and your whole family. God protect you. God protect Mike Pence. And you're doing a great job. You're excellent. I hope you can just accomplish everything you promised, because I know the left, the far left, the communists, alias Democrat Party, is trying to stop you from achieving for the good of our nation. So God bless you. I always pray for Israel too. God bless you, Israel, eternally. Or like I always say, I stand with God and Israel eternally. That's the way I put it. When I always pray for them, I pray for the freedom of Cuba, Venezuela, and North Korea and China. So until next time, bye-bye.